Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time something a little bit different. We're here on Project Cars 3 and at Catalunya in Radicals. Now, this has to be possibly one of the most enjoyable and entertaining races I've been a part of in this game since launch. Most times you go into a lobby in Project Cars 3, not only is it an absolute ghost town, it is usually a shit show if you do find anything. So it's very rare that you find a lobby where most of the drivers in it are actually competent. It's not to say there isn't a little bit of bumping and shoving. Definitely is, especially at the start of the race while we're all kind of getting our foot in, trying to get clammed off for first place. But stick around because this gets really spicy real quick and goes right down to the wire all the way to the last corner. So hopefully you enjoy it. But we're coming in now to, I believe it's T6 or T5 or T6. And I overcook it just a little bit. It's the first time I've actually driven the Radicals on this game, so I'm getting used to the brakes and the acceleration sensitivity, but I'm coming into this little chicane, sorry, this little S's, and I absolutely hate this corner. I go into the back of O-ring accidentally, and that gives Awesome Mitchy here an absolute lunge and overtaking manoeuvre to go take it to first place. And I get a little bit of a push from O-ring as he comes back onto the track after going wide, and I know I can see here Mitchy is going to go a little bit deep, and I'm going to cut through the other guys, take my opportunity, send it through, and get the job done really nicely. Cut the other two, get some good traction, and I'm going to keep this as long as possible. David there already looking for the first place, and I can tell you there this first place won't last long. Taking a little bit of an angle onto there, keep it tight here, try and get really tight into here, cutting, hit the little sausage curb ever so slightly, sends me off into the overrun a little bit, and bump into David on the way back. But I get a nice run. It's not too bad down the home straight all the way to T1. And I get some actually real good traction on David, and I know already I'm going to absolutely commit to this corner. See Awesome Mitchy considering going on the inside of both of us. Get a little bit of bump from David. It means I have to pull out a little bit towards it to correct, so I don't get a little bit of penalty. And then I yield place. That gives O-ring the opportunity to go in. A little bit of correction gives Awesome Mitchy the opportunity, and right there I've gone down to fourth place from first, and for some reason I just decide not to defend, go on the cut back on the inside of Felix as he sends it through. Keep him honest, keep him real tight to this inside corner, so he has to pull out, take a nice lunge, also get Awesome Mitchy, which was unexpected. I don't think he quite got the traction out that he wanted to, but I managed to get the inside line for these S's here. Bane of my existence, these, but get this one quite nicely. A little bit hesitant on the traction, couldn't get quite past David. Awesome Mitchy pushes me to the inside there, so I have to pull out. I don't want to touch that grass because I know that's an immediate penalty of a second or so, so I don't want to get that at this point in the race. You can see Felix has dropped back a little bit, giving me some breathing space, allowing me to kind of get a little bit into the groove, as it were. O-ring going a little bit wide. Just see if I can sniff anything out. Goes a little bit wide again, so I'm going to try and cut back, but unfortunately gets a really good exit. I used to slam it around the outside, so I'm going to think about going for the inside on this. Yeah, chicane, send it right through. Got the inside line, he's got the inside line for this. I let him go through. Unfortunately, we both lose a little bit of time. He gets a little bit sideways. And that's going to be the last time I actually think about making that manoeuvre. I think it's not worth losing the drive and the exit onto this main straight, sorry, because you can see we've already lost the toe from Awesome Mitchy. And David, me and O-ring going here, I know he's got to make that lunge, so I'm going to ease out just a little bit earlier, make sure I get a really nice apex there. Doesn't quite work out how I want. O-ring really carries the pace quite nicely, managed to keep it nice and tidy. Get a little bit sideways here, hits the curb, a little bit of grass, have to pull out, and Felix right behind us, it's like you can see he's going to make that lunge. I know he's there, and I don't feel confident. I think I'm just going to let him go through. Get a little bit sideways again, can't get that power down, so I'm going to have to settle to sit back into fifth place. Consider going around the outside, but I think better of it, get a little bit better traction than Felix here, but just plant it and stick with it for now. Going back down to these S's, see what I can do. I'm actually really enjoying these cars at this point, as the O-ring goes a little bit wide, so does Felix, but I capitalise on that going for the inside lunge. It gives me the space, and I take it quite happily. Go a little bit wide, maybe force it ever so slightly, nothing too hard, but unfortunately the game decides to give me a penalty for some reason. Completely unjustified there for touching the gravel, but hey ho, gives me some breathing space, and we're down into this tight left hand as Awesome Mitchy takes a real dive on the exit. Capitalising on that, I'm going to go for a cut back, try and get him. Oh, goes a little bit squirmish, and yep, sends it off the gravel. And if you're watching the top there, almost collects Felix on the way out. Going to try and get this corner a little bit better than I did last time. Hit that one quite nicely, missed that apex altogether, but get a decent traction on the exit. So I managed to get a nice run. And I'll stick in the toes of foot corner all the way down. As I was saying, I actually really enjoy these cars. It's a nice balance between grip and a little bit of perkiness. Keeps you on your toes, but you've got quite a fair amount of confidence in what the car's going to do, even through a controller, which I prefer to play this game on. Coming through here, collect a little bit too much curb, hit the sausage ever so slightly, so lift off a little bit, but follow quite nicely through, keeping it tight as you can. A little bit over correction, pulls me onto the curb here, but not as bad as last time. Felix isn't needing to capitalise. So I can move into T4. A little bit wide again, but keep the traction in, so don't lose out too much. Following down, at this point I think this is where it's going to stay. I take a lot of curb here, but actually benefits me on the exit. Yeah, like I said, I think this is where we're going to stay until here, when you see Oring going a little bit deep, gets a bit sideways off the Oring, and so do I. Get a little bit spooked by him. Missed the gravel, but hit the grass. Stay to one side to let Felix. Sorry, I thought it was Awesome Mitchie's coming up behind me. Almost takes the lunge, take my back end out. And I go defensive. I expect him to go through everything, considering everything he's gone for, but he doesn't quite go for it. Go for a tighter line. Felix gets a little bit sideways. I pull out, try not to make contact, and gives Awesome Mitchie the bloody exit right on the inside line. So again, I have to yield. Go for the cutback. Got the speed on him, but unfortunately I couldn't get quite underneath him. So I bump into him and sit behind him, right up to his backside. Consider going for the lunge, but think better of it again after the first lap. A really nice exit. That little drop gets my back end right round ever so slightly, but quite nice. And Oring really royally messes it up on the exit of that. Drops all the way back down to fourth for the last lap, giving David pretty much the secured victory here, as long as he doesn't do anything foolish. I go on the inside of Oring, consider it the inside of Awesome. He either doesn't see me or doesn't care that I'm there. Takes a little lunge, pushing me wide. Nothing too serious. Keep it collected. He goes a little bit wide. Felix a little bit wide. Let's carry some speed, bump again, all the way, keeping it nice and tight here. I'm pretty much convinced I'm going to send it. I already know. He's made a few lunges on me, pushes me a little bit ever so slightly, but I'm going to make it work. Get that back end out, put power down, and nicely. You'll see him cut back ever so in the inside, but I've got the inside line for this turn, and I'll just keep it nice and planted. Felix again. I thought we might be catching David there after a little plume of smoke, but alas, he's still going strong, and I absolutely cock it up, follow Felix into the bloody gravel trap, and here I panic. I think this shadow is going to reappear into the game, so I take a diversive action, accidentally hit Awesome Mitchie. Not sure if I caused him to hit the grass, which gives him a penalty, so I apologise to you if you ever watch this. But you can see Felix take an absolute lunge at the end, but I'm not having any of it. I'm planting my my car right on the apex of the corner, keeping it really sensible. I'm terrified, absolutely shitting myself at this point, planting it on that, parking the bus as it were, getting it round nice and steady. Nice tight line for here, keep it tight so I can get a sharp entrance for this. Push it wide. Felix again on the outside, now on the inside, push it wide, a little bit forceful, but you know, that's racing, going around to the final corner, and that is it. I managed to secure second place, and like I said, all the way to the wire. I didn't expect to get the victory. It felt like a victory, definitely best of the rest, but I absolutely loved it. It was really good to get some competitive racing going on, and I've got a lot more of these to follow, but I hope you enjoyed that. Pretty interesting and enjoyable race, at least for myself it was. If you've got any advice, if you like what I'm doing, please feel free to drop a comment, a like, and a subscribe if you really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'd love to hear your feedback. But until next time, take care, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye.